और दूसरा वो था कि वो सबसे सर्वोपरि है, वो बताना भी चाहते थे, वो
Yes.
स्थापित करना भी चाहते थे कि वो सबसे सर्वोपरि है और
हाँ.
सबसे ऊपर है, इसलिए उन्होंने ये फाइट किया।
Yes, very good. एक तो one is we wanted to show that Krishna is superior over all other even divine incarnations, including Lord Ram. And then he was, what is the second one, Mataji, you said?
प्रसन्नता के लिए, उनको प्रसन्न
हाँ.
करने के लिए,
Yes,
उनको खुशी देने के लिए।
yes. To make him happy, to make Krishna happy, for the pleasure of the Lord. Yes, Mataji.
And also, the important reason was to Banasur. He had to remove the flaws from Banasur.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. You
Yes,
also.
yes, mercy, give the mercy to Banasur also. Yes.
So many things, very nice. So how did Lord Shiva, he was actually very reluctant to actually protect Banasura, isn't it? Initially, he was very reluctant to protect him. And what does this show?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
He
Mataji.
was reluctant to fight with Krishna due to his devotion, because he is the greatest Vaishnava and he is a great devotee of Krishna. But at the same time, he gave his word to Banasura that he will always protect him and he will guard him. So, feeling it as his duty, he fought with Krishna with much reluctance.
So thank you, Mataji. So wonderful. Yes, definitely. This is the answer. And he was torn between dharma and bhakti. So he didn't know whether he should perform his dharma duty or whether he should. So for a moment he was a little bit he didn't know what to do, how to handle this situation. But then he handled it so wonderfully, so beautifully. Only Lord Shiva can do that. So we go to the next slide. Here, how did Krishna triumph over Banasur?
He fought with Narayanastra when Shiva applied his Paspatastra
Yes.
and Brahmastra.
Yes. He counteracted Pashpatastra, Brahmastra with his Narayanastra. Yes. And how did he defeat Banasura? That means, what did he do with Banasura? That's the question.
He caught his 996 arms and fought with him.
Here we see how he was shattering Vanasura's bows and striking down his chariot and everything, and finally horses, everything fell down, including Banasura, everything. And then Krishna was triumphant, and then he blew his conch shell. So this is how he started off, by throwing Banasura out of his chariot. Okay. Okay, then the next question is, how does Yogamaya influence this battle? And how should we view that in our struggles?
Yogamaya confounds even Lord Shiva and making him feel that he has to do his duty towards Banasur and support Banasur. And this actually asks a question that whether duty should be given prime importance or one should do devotion. So we have to make a choice and basically find a way, a balance between the two.
Yes, very nice. Very wonderful. Yes, how Yogamaya is going to influence this battle in the terms of divine potency, that she has a divine potency and she has the capacity to even put into Maya, put into bewilderment, even the greatest of deities. So this is what the greatest of deities is Lord Shiva. So even she can do that. This is shown over here. And then it also is telling us how we can, in our challenges, and we have conflicts, challenges, and how we can do this. How at the in a great we have to choose the something which is higher in purpose. So when we have some struggle going on in our mind, we have to look at the purpose, the dharma part of it, the purpose part of it, and which is the most dharmic, and then we have to choose that. So that is what is.
Mataji, according to Guru Shastra and Sadhu, we can choose this, right?
Yeah, dharmic. Yeah, dharmic means here means we are talking about two things. One is dharmic, and we have to think of about the conventional things which happen in like if the two things are in front of you, one is duty and one is bhakti, then definitely you have to choose bhakti over duty, right?
Yes, Mataji. मगर sometimes duty भी जरूरी है ना Mataji?
हाँ, पर अगर इतना it has come to that point where you have to choose now, bhakti or duty, then which one you will choose?
भक्ति
Bhakti.
भक्ति करते करते ड्यूटी कर सकते हैं ना Mataji?
हाँ, कर सकते हैं, but if it's not
हाँ
possible, the question is this, that if it is not possible that you have to choose either one, then which one will you choose? भक्ति करते करते अगर ड्यूटी नहीं कर पा रहे हैं हम लोग, अगर चूज
हाँ
करना है दोनों में से एक को, तो क्या चूज करेंगे?
भक्ति चूज
हाँ,
करना
भक्ति. तो ये सिखा रहे हैं यहाँ पे. This is what is shown here. So how is it shown like that is because Lord Shiva is now trying to show you that even if I choose duty over bhakti, still I'll be defeated. That is the show. Okay.
माताजी in case of family life, जैसे बच्चे छोटे छोटे हैं और वो इंटरेस्टेड है भक्ति करने में, तो देन हाउ ही
प्रभुपाद ने बताया है कि when बच्चे छोटे छोटे होते हैं, they are only your deities. उनको ही देखना है आपको. That is how you should do it.
या
So we
In
have
that
to see,
case,
we have to see Guru,
deities-
Sadhu and Shastra, as Raksha Mataji said. Sadhus
Okay.
will give us the right direction.
ओके थैंक यू माताजी.
Thank you. So we'll move
तो
on.
माताजी घर में जब भी बहुत बड़े बुजुर्ग है, अभी मेरे फादर इन लो 93 इयर्स के हैं, तो आई हैव टू लुक आफ्टर हिम फर्स्ट, राइट माताजी?
Yes.
क्योंकि-
Yes.
हाँ.
Definitely. So this is only bhakti, because when looking after him, you are also doing a seva, no? What is bhakti? Bhakti is taught by Krishna, by Srila Prabhupada to us as devotional service, no? Seva, isn't it? Devotional
Yes,
service.
yes माताजी.
Yeah, so looking after children, looking after old parents, this is our bhakti only towards Krishna. We know about Pundalik's story, about how Pundalik was finally even he threw a brick to Lord Krishna when he came to see him, because it was disturbing his service to his parents. So he was, then what you will think? Bhakti, which is bhakti? Seeing Krishna face to face and talking to him is more important, or serving your parents is more important? So Pundalik showed that serving his parents is actually bhakti.
कर्म योग we can see.
Because
We
serving the
can-
parents who are devotees of Krishna. His parents were devotees of Krishna. Serving the devotees is higher than serving Krishna even.
Yes,
This
yes.
one. So like that.
Yes माताजी, very true.
So we will go on to the next question. Which is the slide? Third slide. Okay, so finish the third slide, right? Go to the fourth slide. In this slide here, there's only one question here. What does the desperate appearance of Kotara before Sri Krishna depict? Very nicely said by Sir, Mataji yesterday, Samta Mataji.
Kotra appears naked before Krishna to save her son.
Yes. What does it show? What does it depict?
Affection, true, true love for affection, we may call it.
In this slide, what do you see?
A mother can go to any extent and can do anything for her child.
Yes,
Give
that
her
is
child.
that is affection. Then one more,
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
one more theme. What is the main theme?
This
Is love
explains
also, and also compassion.
compassion.
So compassion, because this is she is showing so much compassion for her son. Is desperate for him to uh, go away from the battlefield so that she can be saved, his life can be saved. So she knows this is the only way Krishna will keep his face away from her, and in this way her son can escape.
माता जी, हम यहाँ पे गांधारी को कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि उन्हें पूरी जिंदगी आंखों का पट्टी नहीं खोला, मगर दुर्योधन के लिए उसने आंखों की पट्टी खोली और उनको सारी शक्ति प्रदान की, है ना माता जी?
Very good example.
Very nice, Mataji. Excellent. Very good. So we will go to the next slide. So these are the questions which I have already done, but we can just go through it once more. So we saw how Lord Shiva was interceding on behalf of Banasur, right? Banasur already had a demoniac nature, but why did Shiva come and help him?
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Yes.
हाँ, तो बानासुर जो है वो वैसे बलि का बेटा था, बलि के, और भगवान उन पे करुणा करना चाहते थे, उसके लिए उनका साथ दिया और उनके पक्ष में रह के फिर वो करके भगवान के पास जाएंगे तो उनका ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो जाएगा।
Yes, correct. He wanted to actually give his mercy to him, Banasur, right? And so that by giving his mercy, he will see that what he wanted to show by giving his mercy, there will be some spiritual awakening on in Banasur's mind, maybe. Because after all, Lord Shiva is who? Lord Shiva is a Vaishnavana Yatha Shambhu. So he is a greatest Vaishnava, right? So if Vaishnava gives mercy, what happens? Bhakti is generated in the heart.
Transformation of heart.
Yes, bhakti is
Yes, ma'am.
generated in the heart. Bhakti Lata Bij is sown in the heart only by Vaishnava. Only his mercy only can happen. No other way we can get bhakti. We can only get bhakti by pure devotee. So that's what Lord Shiva wanted to do.
Like जगाई मगाई ने नित्यानंद प्रभु ने जगाई मगाई को दी mercy.
Very good. Yes.
Also, Mataji, he wanted to show that one should see a person beyond his faults.
Yes.
So you shouldn't hate the sinner, you should hate the sin.
Yes. Same thing is in Nityananda Prabhu's case. Nityananda Prabhu is telling Lord Gauranga, this is not your avatar to kill, but to see beyond the faults of these. Wonderful, very nice, nicely connected. So the next question over here in this slide is how does the concept of Maya affect an individual's perception of Krishna and their ability to connect with divinity? We did this question just now. So this is some more in detail. How the concept of Maya, how it can cloud one's judgment, cloud one's spiritual perception, but then how is it presenting a significant opportunity for growth? How that it's suggesting that in this material world, the distracted individuals, the individuals can be distracted from Krishna's bhakti. Yet, if we practice, if we have self-discipline, if we go for purification and devotion, then we can transcend this Maya and we can empower ourselves and we can have a clearer understanding of Krishna. So, okay, so we understood this. This is a very nice point. We have to keep in mind. It's very useful for us because Maya is always with us, right? Just Krishna is always with us. Maya is always with us. So what we have to do is given in this slide. We have to do self-discipline, purification, and devotion. And this way, we can transcend this illusion called Maya.
Clear understanding.
Very clear understanding. Very nice slide. So, in what ways can the themes of mercy and devotion be practically applied in spiritual daily practice? Daily practice, how we can do? How we can use the themes of mercy and devotion is shown here.
We should sincerely worship and dedicate our time for regular prayer, meditation, and act kindly towards others.
Yes.
And we should be very, very humble.
Yes.
And we should be grateful to Lord Krishna. And we must give priority to our spiritual growth.
Wonderful. Yes.
माता जी दूसरा भी एक पॉइंट यहाँ पे ऐसा है कि हमें हर चीज में भगवान की कृपा का दर्शन करना चाहिए.
Yes.
कुछ भी हो जाए, we have to see this is the कृपा.
Yeah, that is gratitude. Yes, Mataji.
हाँ.
Yes.
Always feel the connection with the divine.
Correct. Yes. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice points and so much important for us. Thank you, Charu Prabhu, for this wonderful slide. This is summing up all the things we should do on a day-to-day basis, isn't it? So we'll go to the 6th slide here. The first question is, why did Lord Shiva's weapon leave the side of his master and take the shelter of Krishna?
Because when he begged for help from Shiva, Shiva was unable to help him. And when he saw no other option, there was no other way out, that is when he surrendered to Lord Vishnu.
Yes. And he first what happened was Krishna sent a cold fever weapon, Vishnu Jwara, which was, although cold, was burning Shiva Jwara. Shiva Jwara is what? Shiva Jwara is burning, is like a fiery weapon. And that fiery weapon was being burnt by a cold weapon. So isn't that amazing? So although it was cold, but it was burning him. So he was crying out in pain. So he left, and when Lord Shiva also could not do anything, then he left him and took the refuge of Lord Krishna. Yes, that was the answer. Nice. So, next question. What did the Shiva Jwara's acceptance of Lord Krishna's supremacy indicate?
Shivaji fell to the ground in respect of Krishna with folded hands, praised him with devotion, realizing Krishna's greatness. He knew the unlimited power of.
So what does it show? It shows that his great respect for Lord Krishna's supreme power. So he acknowledged that Krishna was the supreme, and then he had great respect for his supremacy. So Shiva is a controller, but you are the supreme controller. So his supremacy, he was showing his supremacy of the Lord. So he is, even Lord Shiva super soul is Krishna. He was saying, you are the super soul of my master. Right? My master is Shiva, right? But my master's super soul is you. So I can see that my master has been affected by Yoga Maya. But You are creating and you are destroying and you are maintaining. तुम्ही सर्वेश्वरेश्वर व्रजेंद्र कुमार, तुम्हारा इच्छाए विश्वे सृजन संहार. The beautiful song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We should all read that song. That song is so wonderful. So wonderful.
माता जी मैंने गाया था अभी 2-3 हफ्ते पहले.
हाँ. So isn't it so wonderful? So this is the same theme over here, showing how Krishna is Sarveshwar, Sarveshwareshwar, not only Sarveshwara, but Sarveshwareshwar. He's a Lord of the Lords.
Mataji,
वो
it
सॉन्ग
is
तो हर
also
रोज
that
गाना चाहिए माता जी, इतना अच्छा है.
हाँ, आज समय मिले तो बाद में गाइए.
आज समय मिलेगा, आजकल लेसन थोड़ा छोटा है.
हाँ, ये गाना तो वो गाना ही चाहिए, बहुत सुंदर गाना है.
Mataji, also one more point is
Yes.
that if who can kill a person whom Krishna wants to save,
हाँ,
and
राखे
who
कृष्ण
can
हमारे के.
and who can save the person whom Krishna wants to kill.
Wonderful, Mataji. So beautiful. This
He
is
is the highest. His is the highest supremacy and the highest justice also.
yes. राखे कृष्ण मारे कृष्णा राखे के. This is
माता जी, just now in Ahmedabad, एक incident happened. Entire plane crash and 422 people died. Only one is survived.
my goodness, really?
हाँ.
He was sitting
तो
on
उसमें
the seat nearby window, seat 11
Oh,
number,
हाँ,
11
मगर
number.
भगवान की कृपा
So
ही हो ना, उनको ही
हाँ,
बचाया,
but
बाकी सब मर
yes, yes,
गए.
उसकी
मतलब ये कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं हम यहाँ पे.
भगवान की कृपा थी उस पर.
yes. भगवान की कृपा है और अपनी डेस्टिनी भी है, अपने
हाँ.
कर्म का फल भी है, सब मिलके एक्ट करते हैं. So we'll go to the 7th slide here. In 7th slide, how did Shivajwara compare the qualities of Krishna and Lord Shiva? So Vedas is referring to Shiva as to Krishna as Brahmalingam, where Shiva is represented by sounds, he's saying.
Ananta Shakti he has, Lord. He can create, destroy, maintain. Lord Shiva just can destroy.
Yes.
And Ananta Shakti means he has unlimited potency.
Yes. Very nice. And who is
And
more peaceful?
free from material influences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Free from material influences. Lord Krishna is free from material influences. But here Yoga Maya is showing that Maya is being influencing Lord Shiva in this case, right? Lord Shiva is taking that position to show us some things. Then
Mataji, it is the Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma primarily are in charge of annihilation and creation only. So they have this localized powers to them. But Lord Krishna can create, can maintain, and can annihilate at his will anytime.
That's the song. We'll sing the song. That's the song. Very beautiful song. So here also explanation, comparison is given about the peacefulness. The Lord Krishna is so peaceful, and Lord Shiva is a fierce Brahman, peaceful Brahman and fierce Brahman. That's also mentioned here. Okay, so the next question is, how is destiny formed? How is our destiny formed? Just now, Raksha Mataji talked about one single man being surviving. So it could be said is destiny.
हमारे कर्म के फल के आधार पे भी हमारी डेस्टिनी होती है.
Correct. Actions produce.
हाँ.
Actions
और
produce
भगवान की
causes.
मर्जी.
हाँ. and causes produce the visible results. At time, everything starts off with time. Time is stirring up everything.
Yes, yes.
And then after that, actions are produced. Actions are produced and then leads to causes, which leads to visible results. And these visible results, like you see the plane crash, then you see one person surviving. That's all the visible results of destiny. Okay. So everybody has carrying all this destiny with us in a baggage from our past. So how are we made to suffer in this material body?
If we are attached to material goals, then we will suffer in material body unless we do something to come out of it.
Correct. Actually, we are not even suffering. We don't even realize that because we are, like Mataji said, attached. Nah, because we are identifying with the body and we are thinking that this body is mine. Because of that only we are suffering. Otherwise, we are not suffering at all. We are Shuddha Jiva. We are Anandamaya. We are full of bliss. But Maya gave us one subtle body, and she gave us one gross body, and she gave us our senses, and she gave us sense objects. Everything created by Maya. Right? Maya Rachitasya. And Maya is Rachitasya, this one, and then after that, what is the Jiva doing? Its consciousness is entering inside this, all the subtle and gross bodies, and claiming it. Oh, this is my body. Oh, this is my gross body. Oh, I am a woman. I am a man. I am a this. I have a wife. I have a husband. I have children. Thinking like that. Does a Jivatma have anything? Jivatma has nothing. Nothing. Nothing is there in the Jivatma. The Jivatma is Shuddha, is pure. What to do? It's entering into all this and is claiming it to be his. And then after that, suffering. Enjoying suffering. Enjoying suffering.
माताजी, दिस पॉइंट में मैंने कल ही एक श्लोक बाय हार्ट किया है, तो ये सेम यही बताते हैं। फर्स्ट कैंटो का 7 चैप्टर का 5th श्लोका है। यया सम्मोहितो जीव आत्मानं त्रिगुणात्मकं परोपि मनुते अर्थम तत्कृतं चापि पद्यते। मतलब एक्सटर्नल एलर्जी के द्वारा हम लोग पीड़ित होते, क्योंकि हम समझ लेते कि ये हम सब है।
Yes, correct.
जीव जो है वो परो है।
Maya is giving us this. Everything she is giving. Body she is giving. Gross body, subtle body. Senses she is giving. Sense objects she is giving. She is giving all, providing the whole thing. And what is this little Jiva doing? It's only doing this. Looking into all these things, getting attracted, going inside, claiming it to be his. This is my house. This is my everything. So my
propensity. Me and my propensity.
Yes. Okay. So, what is the falashruti of this episode? falashruti?
जो ये शिव ज्वर और विष्णु ज्वर के बीच का जो कॉन्वर्सेशन जो सुनता है, उनका फियर हमेशा के लिए चला जाता है।
हाँ, will be dispelled of fear.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes, डर चला जाता है।
Sorry.
डर चला जाता है, डर।
डर.
fear.
So what is that डर? The डर is bhayam dvitiya bhi niveshat syat. That is the dar. And why that dar is there? Because we have not surrendered to Krishna. We don't know anything about Krishna. Ishati apyasya. We don't understand who is Krishna. Therefore, so if we remember this conversation, what is this conversation all about? All about the Shiva Jvara is glorifying Krishna, glorifying his supremacy. And that will help us. That will help us in coming out of this bhayam dvitiya bhini. Dvitiya means this duality. Come out of this duality. Okay. So this is also another very wonderful slide about the questions here. The questions are, what specific powers does Lord Krishna possess that surpass that those of Lord Shiva. So we did this in the first slide itself. And how does the interaction between Shiva Jwara and Vishnu Jwara illustrate the broader themes? Okay, this one we can do. This one we can ask a question here. What does the battle between Shiva Jwara and Vishnu Jwara acknowledge in terms of divine hierarchy? There's a divine hierarchy, right? That means who is higher than whom, like that. That's a divine hierarchy. So, what does this battle acknowledge in terms of that divine hierarchy? So we say that Indra is the god, is the master of all the demigods, and then above Indra is Brahmaji, and above Brahmaji is Lord Shiva, like that. Huh? So, what does this battle acknowledge?
It acknowledges that all the spiritual paths leads to the Supreme Krishna.
Ah, yes. No, I'm talking about the hierarchy. Hierarchy that is symbolizing this. Yeah, this is the unifying the aspect that all spiritual path leads to Supreme. That is correct. That is correct.
It
So,
also represents the transition from misconceptions about divinity to a deeper understanding about Krishna nature.
okay.
Deeper
Because
understanding
Shiva
about
Jara is
Krishna.
taking a shelter of Krishna finally, isn't it? So now because Shiva Jara is taking refuge of Krishna, Shiva Jara is surrendering to Krishna, then we know that who is the Supreme. So in the divine
Yes.
hierarchy, we know who is the Supreme. Supremacy of Krishna is established. This is if there is a struggle between different divine forces are there and they want to realize who is the supreme, then we understand by this who is the supreme. Because
So
Shiva,
even the greatest of the demigods cannot give you something unless it is sanctioned by Lord Krishna.
yes. Okay, wonderful. So one more question here, and that is what is the metaphor shown by the battle between the two Jwaras?
Duality is Mataji.
Yeah, this is the battle. The battle is the metaphor. The battle is shown between the two Jwaras, right? And it is what is it illustrating? That is the conflict between spiritual influence and material influence.
Material.
Yeah, within our human life, we also have these influences, and these also are acting. So we also have to think, right? So what is it showing us? It is showing us that we have to transcend material attachment. So if we have material attachments, we have to come out of it and find solace in Krishna. We have to find solace in spiritual consciousness. Okay, coming out of material consciousness and entering into spiritual consciousness.
Majority of people are in the duality only because and they don't know because of ignorance की वजह से आप बाहर नहीं आ पा रहे always duality में जीते हैं सब.
Yes, yes.
And that is only the final way out. There is no way out otherwise.
There's no way out.
Because if you find a solution in material aspect only, then it is only furthermore entanglement. So there is no way out.
Yeah, solution will never come in material ways. It will only come in spiritual ways. Yes, correct. Very nice. So we will go to the next slide here. Here, what does the battle between Shiva Jwara and Vishnu Jwara acknowledge in terms? Sorry. What is the pantheistic view? How is it displayed here? There's only one question in this slide. Is this the one? Yeah, I think so. Just give me a minute. Pantheistic view. I think it's
No, it is there in the same slide only.
slide, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That everything in the material world is connected to the divine. That is the pantheistic.
Yes. So all the elements of creations are only Krishna's expansions. This is the pantheistic view that everything is connected to the divine, one person. So only Krishna. So that is the pantheistic view. Okay.
Aham sarvasya prabhu.
Yes. Aham sarvasya. Mataji, say that whole sloka. Aham sarvasya
अहं
prabhu.
सर्वस्य प्रभवो मत्तः सर्वप्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां मूढा भावसमन्विताः.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. And in this slide, we want to know how can the most sinful attain redemption?
Mataji, please repeat the question.
Divine grace. Yeah. Through divine grace, the divine
Yes.
mercy.
How can the most sinful get redemption? Get redemption. How can they attain redemption? He is correct. By divine grace.
Without the mercy of the Lord, nothing can happen.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you so much. Without the mercy of the Lord. Then next, what is the analogy given to show the role of the super soul?
When the sun is hidden
By
under
cloud.
a cloud,
Yes.
that doesn't mean that sun is not present.
Correct.
But, divinity sometimes can be out from our knowledge, but it is always there.
Yes. We cannot see the super soul, right? So we cannot say that there's no super soul. So that is the sun. Sun is the analogy. Yes, very nice, Mataji. What does Lord Shiva condemn here?
We should not neglect the worship of the divine for material pursuits, because that is not permanent. The material pursuits will come and go, or you will get something high and the next day you will be low. You know, one day you are poor, one day you can be a king, and then again you can be a poor. So the importance is spirituality, and this temporary desires, this will come and go like passing clouds.
Correct.
And you will also be successful like passing clouds. Today you will be successful, tomorrow you won't be, like,
Yes, correct. Wonderful, Mataji. So we should not worship the lords or anybody for material pursuits. So we should always be fixed on spiritual journey and don't waste our time with material things. That is the answer. So we'll go to the next one. The next question will be, what is the philosophy displayed by Lord Shiva? Okay, it's non-dualistic philosophy. Actually, you said dualistic Dvaita, then this must be Advaita, right? But here, Advaita philosophy is shown here as Lord Shiva as Shankaracharya does come and teach us Advaita philosophy. But in this case, Krishna's unique position, so this is kind of a Vishuddha Advaita or something like that. It's still a non-dualistic philosophy, but still it acknowledges Krishna's unique position. So it is showing Krishna's being the supreme being here. So that is the thing. And then the next is, what is the ultimate gift of Bhakti Maharani?
That Bhakti Maharani gifted us by telling that, giving the idea that sincere worship can lead us to spiritual realization.
Yes, Mataji, perfect. You hit the point.
Love for Lord. Love for Lord.
Yes.
Bhakti gives love for Lord.
So here the same questions, which these questions we can repeat, but I think we are, Prabhu, I think we are off time, right? We are finished.
Coming to an end only. These questions have been already discussed, so we can skip them.
We can skip, right, Prabhu? So can I end here, Prabhu?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu, and for wonderful participation. Thank you so much. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji, for nice recap.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Archana Mataji, Dandavat. Such a nice recap. So let us start today's class. And Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Shri Prabhupada. So I seek blessings from Chal Prabhuji, Sharad Prabhuji, and all the assembled devotees for today's class. We will be doing lesson 102 today, which is chapter 64. It comprises of 44 verses, which we will see in two parts. So this is a very beautiful story, pastime, wherein Lord Krishna instructs us a very important uh, important lesson which we should keep in mind regarding a Brahmana's property. So here in this pastime, we will get introduced to King Nriga, and this particular King Nriga, he was a very charitable king, and due to a mistake which happened unknowingly, he got this form of a lizard, and how this lizard came in contact with Krishna, that is the pastime, and this whole pastime we will be seeing today. Very interesting lesson and very important lesson to learn from this particular pastime. So this whole pastime, actually, thankfully to these slides, it has come to life because such beautiful pictures are being selected. So if you see this picture, you have this Maharaj Nriga over here. He is asking forgiveness from these two Brahmanas, which we see in the story. And here, this particular king has got because of a sin that was committed unknowingly, he got this body of a lizard, and how Krishna is rescuing him. And here also we can see King Niga, who is giving in charity such beautiful cows, so nicely adorned cows, to extremely pure Brahmanas. So let's dive into the story. So once upon a time, in Yaduvansha, the boys, the children, they go to a particular forest for a picnic. And these are Samba and Charu, Gada, Pradyumna, Bhanu. All these princes, they go to a nearest forest, and it was near Dwarika city. They played a lot over there, and finally they got thirsty, and they tried to find water in the forest. They came across a well, and when they came near to the well, there was no water inside. Instead, they found a creature. It was a strange creature. It was like a huge lizard, and it had a form of a hill. So this creature was wonderful looking. So they were surprised to see this creature inside the well. They realized that, this particular animal is trapped into this well and cannot come out of it. So out of compassion, they try their own ways to help him come out of the well. Say they use some thongs and some ropes. But after trying for a long time, they could not succeed to help him come out of the well. And finally, they gave up and they all returned back home. Once home, they told everything to Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna, being the friend of each and every living entity, on the appeal of his sons, he personally went to that place near that well, and he saw that creature inside. Now, Krishna knows everything. He just very, effortlessly, using his left hand, just took out the lizard from the well. And the moment that creature was was touched by Lord Krishna, it gave up its lizard body and it got transformed into a very beautiful demigod. So it is here in this picture, we can see this. Yeah. So you see Lord Krishna near the well, this lizard has got transformed into this particular demigod. Now we will learn how this happened, who was this particular person and what happened to him that he came to this particular position of a lizard. So once he became a demigod and his complexion was so lustrous, the golden molten gold, and he was wearing such fine garments and such luxurious ornaments he was wearing. So the question was, how did this very great demigod got the body of a lizard? And although Krishna knew everything about it, but still, for the benefit of others, Krishna asked him, uh, "Dear demigod, we can see you've now got such a beautiful and lustrous body, but who are you, and what happened to you uh, that you got this position of a lizard, this species of a lizard? It must be due to the result of some past activity or some past mistake that you have come down, you got this position." So he said, Lord Krishna told him that if you feel that this is the right time and the right place, so kindly tell us what happened to you and tell us about your history, your past, and what happened to you that you got this particular downfall. So uh, the lizard was actually Maharaj Nrika, and when he was asked by Lord Krishna, he bowed down with his helmet touching the floor uh, in front of Lord Krishna, and he offered his respectful obeisances to the Lord. He said, "My dear Lord, I am Maharaj Nriga, and I am the son of King Ikshvaku. And if you are aware, if you have taken account of all the charitable men in the world, you might have heard my name." So he said that, you are the supreme witness and you are aware of everything that a living entity does. You are aware of the past and the present and the future accounts of every living entity. So nothing is hidden from you, my Lord. Still, since you have requested me, so I will tell you what happened to me that I became degraded and turned into given the body of a lizard. So he said that this degradation is caused by my karma kanda activities. He said that I have been an extremely charitable king in my past life, and I would give away so many cows to Brahmanas that the total was kind of equal to the particles of dust that are on the earth, the number of stars that are in the sky, and the drops of water that is there in the rainfall. So he was so highly charitable that one can't even imagine. So, according to the Vedic ceremonies, a person who is giving lot of charity, especially giving cows in charity to Brahmanas, that is the highest charity. So, the Maharaj Nriga says that uh, uh, as a result of a slight discrepancy, he was forced to take birth as a lizard. Now, what happened? He said that uh, the desire, well, like if a charity is based to based on desires to derive benefit from that particular charity, especially, and if it is not given to please Krishna, then it becomes a binding act. So you have to incur the pious and the impious results from that particular charity. So to give charity means to perform pious activities by which one may be elevated to a higher planetary system. And by promotion to the higher planetary system, there is no guarantee that one will never fall down. So my example is such an example because it proves that fruitative activities, even if they are very pious, cannot give you eternal blissful life. And this is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, that the result of work, whether it is pious or impious, is sure to bind a person unless the work is done with the bhava that it's a yajna to and it's an offering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So unless it is done with that intention, a living entity will always be bound by it. So Maharaj Nriga said that he had given cows in charity, and these cows were not any ordinary cows. These cows were young, and they had given birth to only one calf, and they were full of milk, very peaceful and very healthy cows. All these cows were purchased with legally earned money, and furthermore, they had gold-plated horns. Their hoofs were bedecked with silver platings, and they were covered with necklaces and with silken wrappers embroidered with pearls. So he said that these valuably decorated cows had also not been given to any person. They were distributed amongst the first class Brahmanas who had uh, uh, and uh, they were uh, they were decorated in nice garments and nice ornaments. Even these brahmanas were decorated. So these brahmanas were all well qualified brahmanas, and none of them were rich. Their family members were always in want of the necessities of life. So that is actually a real brahmana, because a real brahmana would not gather money. He would not live a luxurious life like a Kshatriya or a Vaishya. He would always be poverty stricken, knowing that money will divert his mind to materialistic way of life. So a qualified Brahmana will always live a simple life, and he will be situated in his exalted vows. That is so these brahmanas were all well learned brahmanas in Vedic knowledge, and they executed the required austerities and penances. They were liberal, meeting the standards of qualified brahmanas, and they were equally friendly to everyone. uh, they were young, they were fit to become, to act as a qualified Brahmana. So, besides the cows, these Brahmanas were also given land, they were given gold, houses, horses, elephants. So, those who were not married, these Brahmanas were uh, given wives to get married to, maid servants along with the wives, grains, silver, utensils, garments, jewels, household furniture, chariot. So much was given by the king. So this charity was nicely performed as a sacrifice according to the Vedic rituals. Uh, Maharaj Nriga also told that not only he bestowed gifts upon these brahmanas, he also performed other pious activities like digging wells, planting trees, and installing ponds on the highways. So he was doing uh, all best of the good activities as per the Vedic, as per the Shastras. So he said, in spite of doing all this, in spite of doing all these auspicious acts, unfortunately, what happened is he had given one cow to one of the Brahmanas in the charity. And by chance, or maybe by destiny, one of the cows that he had already given just came back and entered into amongst the other cows in the herd, and nobody knew about this. So without knowing this, the Maharaj Niga said that I again gave that particular cow in charity to another Brahmana. So this was a mistake happened. The cow was already given in charity to a Brahmana, and without anybody's knowledge, that cow again came back and got mixed with the other cows. And that same cow was given in charity to another Brahmana. And this happened unknowingly. Nobody knew about it. So as the cow was being taken by the second Brahmana, who was again given the same cow, the previous master of the cow, the previous Brahmana, he came claiming that this particular cow is my cow. And how can you, take away a cow that has already been given in charity and again give it away? So there was an argument over there between the two Brahmanas. And both the Brahmanas, they started fighting amongst each other. And they charged the king. They said that you have taken back the cow that you had given previously in charity, and basically to give something to someone and then take it back is considered as a big sin, especially when it is a dealing with a Brahmana. So both the Brahmanas, they blamed the king and they complained the same thing, and Maharaj Niga was puzzled. He had no idea. He didn't know how this happened. But out of great humility, uh, he offered both of them 1 lakh cows in exchange of this one cow, so that if they can stop fighting and forgive the king. So he prayed them that he was their servant, and this might have happened by mistake. So in order to rectify it, he prayed to both of them that please be kind upon me and please accept the exchange offer, that instead of this cow, please accept I'm giving you 1 lakh cows in return. So please accept that. So he was appealing to them earnestly, and he was requesting them that um, please don't be upset with me. Otherwise, it will be a cause of my downfall, and I will suffer in hell for this particular mistake. So, uh, a Brahmana's property is called Brahmaswa, means according to the law of Manu, it cannot be acquired even by the government. So both the Brahmanas, they insisted that this particular cow is theirs, and they could not it could not be taken back under any condition. Neither of them agreed to exchange it for 1 lakh cows. So the disagreement with the king's proposal, the two Brahmanas, they got absolutely upset, angry, and they left from there. They just left that place, thinking that, their property, that their lawful possession, that has been taken away by the king. They thought that the king they had this thing that the king has, hamara property hadap liya. That was the feeling they had when they left the place. So after this incident, when the time came for the king to give up his body, he was taken to Yamaraja, and there Yamaraj asked him whether he wanted to enjoy the results of his pious activities or he wants to suffer the results of his impious activities. So, seeing that the king had executed so many pious activities and charities, the Yamraj also hinted that he did not know the limit of the king's future enjoyment, because he had done abundant activities, charitable activities. So there is a lot of, good, he had an unlimited time of future enjoyment. So he gave him that hint. In other words, there would be practically no end to the king's material happiness. He had done so much of good. So But in spite of that hint, the king got bewildered and he decided to suffer first the results of his impious activities and then to accept the results of his pious activities. So therefore, Yamraj turned him into a lizard. And then King Nriga, he remained into this well as a big lizard for a long, long time. So King Nriga told Lord Krishna that in spite of being put into this condition of life, I simply thought of you, my dear Lord. In my memory, I never stopped thinking of you. And my memory also never went away. Like he was aware of what had happened to him in his previous life. So it appears that, uh, from the way he was talking, that persons who follow the principles of fruitive activities and derive material benefits out of them, they are not intelligent because they will sooner or later suffer the result for that also, even if it is good. Uh, so, being given a choice by the Yamraja, King Mriga could have accepted the results of enjoying the results of pious activities. Instead, he chose to suffer the results of impious activity. So that also happened because he chose to do fruitative activities in his previous life. So, on the whole, he had not developed, Maharaj Riga had not developed Krishna consciousness. A Krishna conscious person develops love for God and not for pious and impious activities. Therefore, he is not subjected to the uh, a Krishna conscious person is not subjected to results of such action. So it is also stated in Brahma Samhita that a devotee by the grace of Lord is not subjected to the reactions of fruitative activities. So he was not attached to Krishna, he was attached to fruitative activities. Hence he suffered this, he got this body of a lizard. So as a result of his pious activities, Maharaj Niga uh, had aspired to see the Lord. So, whatever he was doing, there was one aspiration in him that I want to see the Lord. So he said, my dear Lord, I had a great desire that someday I might be able to see you personally. And I think that this great desire to see you combined with my tendency to perform ritualistic and charitable activities has enabled me to retain that memory of my former life of a king. And even though I have become a lizard, I can still remember uh, because of this aspiration that I wanted to see you. So, such a person who remembers his past life had, there are instances when we see that even in this yoga, we see that many examples when people recollect about their past lives and they know, what they were in the past lives. So he is saying, my dear Lord, you are the super soul who is seated in everyone's heart, and you all the great mystics, all the pure devotees, they can see you only by practicing devotional service, and the yogis can see you through the eyes of Vedas and Upanishads, and to achieve the elevated position of realizing that they are equal in quality with you, they meditate upon you within their hearts. So although such exalted devotees may see you constantly within their hearts, they still are not able to see you face to face. So therefore, I'm very much surprised that I'm able to see you personally. So I know that, I was engaged in so many activities, especially as a king. Although I was in the midst of luxury and opulence, and I was subject to so much of happiness and misery of material existence, I am so fortunate to see you personally. So as far as I know, that one becomes liberated from material existence uh, he when he is able to see you in this way. So he says that uh, great yogis also, they meditate on you only in the heart. but I got the fortune to see you, and it was due to my desire, and I can't believe that I can see you personally. So King Maharaj Nika, he considered himself to be blessed. So Maharaj Nika, when he elected, like he received the results of pious activities, he was given this body of lizard because of this mistake that he did in his pious activities. Actually, he did not do, it just happened. He was not even aware of it. So he could not be directly converted into, a status of like, even though like he had now come in contact with Krishna, he still would not have been directly given a higher status uh, of life, like a great demigod. So along with his pious activities, he thought of Krishna, and that is the reason he was from the lizard he could get the body of a demigod. So although he suffered his results of the impious activities, that is for that mistake that happened, still he couldn't have, had he not come in contact with Krishna, he couldn't have just being transferred from lizard to a demigod. That was not possible. But just because he came in touch with Krishna, just because he saw Lord personally, uh, that is the reason he was given the body of a demigod immediately, uh, uh, once he got rid of the body of the lizard. That is due to the mercy of Lord Krishna. So by worshipping the Supreme Lord, those who desire material opulences are given the bodies of powerful demigods. So this person desired material opulences, hence he was given the body of a demigod. So sometimes these demigods can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, but they are still not yet eligible to enter the spiritual kingdom, that is the Vaikuntha planets. So if the demigods continue to be the devotee of the Lord, then in the next chance, they get to enter the Vaikuntha planets. So he attained, now he's become a demigod, and he remembers everything. So he says, my dear Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you are worshipped by all the demigods. You are not one of the like you are not just an ordinary living entity. You are the Supreme Person. You are the Purushottam. You are the source of all the happiness of all the living entities. You are, for this reason, because you are the source of happiness, for this reason you are known as Govinda. And uh, for the living entities who have accepted material bodies, for those and for those who have not accepted material bodies. So among the living entities who have accepted material bodies and those who have not accepted material bodies, that is the evil spirits or those who are living in the ghostly atmosphere. So those who live in spiritual kingdom, so you are a source of happiness for all the beings, basically, not just in material body, but who are without the material body also. And for those who live in the spiritual kingdom, like the Vaikunthas, have bodies not made of material elements. So, Lord, you are infallible, you are supreme, you are the purest of all the living entities. You live in everyone's heart, you are the shelter of everyone, you are Narayana, you are the supreme director of everyone's sensual activities. Therefore, you are Rishikesha also. So that's how he was glorifying the Lord. And he said, because you have given me this demigod body, I will have to go to some heavenly planet. So I am taking this opportunity to beg you for your mercy. I pray that, I may have the benediction of never forgetting your lotus feet. So he actually wants that next chance so that he could go to the spiritual planet of the Lord. So he said that, please bless me, give me your mercy so that I never forget you and I always remember you. I am always devoted. I should always be devoted to your lotus feet, no matter which planet I go to, no matter what form of life I will be transformed to. So because you're all pervading everywhere, you're present everywhere as cause and effect, and you are the cause of all the causes, and you are the unlimited power, the supreme truth, the supreme personality of Godhead, the supreme Brahmana. Therefore, I offer obeisances unto you again and again. My dear Lord, your body is so full of transcendental bliss and knowledge. You are eternal. You are the master of all the mystic powers. Therefore, you are Yogeshwara, and kindly accept me as an insignificant particle of dust at your lotus feet. So this is what was his prayer. Very humble prayer. Kindly accept me as an insignificant particle of dust at your lotus feet. So then, before leaving for the heavenly planet, Maharaj Niga, he circumambulated Lord Krishna. He touched his helmet to the feet of the Lord and bowed before him. And then an aeroplane came from the heavenly planet, wherein then he took permission from the Lord to board it. And that's how he went away. So after the departure of the king Mriga, Lord Krishna expressed his appreciation for the king's devotion to the Brahmins, and as well as the charitable about the king was extremely devoted to Brahmanas, and the kind of charity he did to the Brahmanas was worth appreciating, and his performance that he did as per the Vedic rituals, so that were worth appreciating, and Lord Krishna appreciated that after he went away. So therefore, it is recommended that if one cannot directly become a devotee of God, one should follow at least the Vedic principle of life, and this will enable that person, that living entity, that one day to see the Lord or to be promoted to a spiritual planet one fine day. So at least if not worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly, one should live a dharma-based life. So that is the story of King Mriga. Now here we will see some very important key points according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Sridhar Swami and Jiva Goswami. Charity and its consequences. So this particular Maharaj was giving cows to Brahmanas. This shows the significance of selfless giving. And here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur emphasizes that Maharaj boasted, like he was showing off, he boasted of his charitable deeds. And ideally, a person who is doing charity in a true sense will never show it. It is to show that I am so charitable is not recommended. Ideally, they say if you are giving charity with one hand, the other hand also shouldn't come to know. So this person was boasting about his activities, so which is not recommended. So charity should be done with a bhava of giving to a person who is in need, a valid, deserved person who is in need, and whatever he needs should be given for his welfare, and it should not be shown off. So charity also has its consequences. It should not be done as a spectacle. Then mixed devotion. Maharaj Niga was, his case was a karma mishrit bhakti. Although he was a devoted king, he was serving the Brahmanas, but he was doing fruitative actions. So it was a karma mishrit bhakti. And this term karma mishrit bhakti, it refers to a form of devotion which that is mixed with the results of one's past actions. So Jiva Goswami here points out that Nriga's devotion lacks purity, and it is not comparable to the unwavering dedication of a great devotee like Ambrisha. So there was lack of purity. And this implies that the action may be pious, but the intention behind it plays a very important role in spiritual growth. So one should check oneself, like what is the purpose of even doing charity, and what we have to judge ourselves, that for what reason we are doing. So that has to be checked. Then the role of humility. Now here we also see, like after he was turned into a demigod, we could see the humility that he showed. And also when he was seeking forgiveness from the two Brahmanas, he practiced, we could see his humility. So Nrika Maharaj's humility is reflected in his reluctance to declare himself deserving of Krishna's mercy openly. So he was saying that, yogis are meditating upon you in the hearts, and I am surprised. How could I see you face to face? Even they cannot see you. So here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Jiva Goswami are emphasizing that this humility is not just a virtue, but it's a very, very important factor for spiritual advancement. And because it enables one to remain receptive to divine grace and guidance, and fostering the sense of humility and open-mindedness in the audience. Lord has very clearly mentioned that he does not like ego and egoistic people. Lord hates even a bit of ahankara that enters. So one has to be very, very careful of ahankara. It enters in a very subtle way that a person is not even aware of it. So the forms of ahankara are many. It can be seen, and some forms cannot be seen. It enters so suksham mein, it will enter you that you would not even be aware of it. So one has to be devoted. One has to practice spiritual life with complete sincerity. Only then one is able to understand that, how ahankara is entering, and how it is time to remove it, and again practice humility. The fostering this virtue of humility is of utmost importance for the devotees. Otherwise, there is a danger of downfall. Then the nature of God and devotion. Niga's recognition of Krishna as the supreme being and the source of all forms of love, and encompasses various modes of devotion such as Shanta. So all the moods of devotion we can see: service, friendship, Sakhya, Dasya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. So it had various moods of devotion. So each of these moods represent a unique way of relating to the Lord, and that Krishna embodies all forms of devotion and connection. So basically everything, all the forms, all the moods, all kinds of affection are there in Krishna. So there is no reason to fall out of it. Krishna is the reservoir of everything. He is the supreme. Everything is there in him. So there is no way to go out of him. And there is no way to get out also, because there is no way out of him. Finally, wherever you go or get distracted or come out, again you will be in due course of time, you will be coming towards the ocean only, because he is the ocean. So finally, all the rivers, they merge into the ocean. And the philosophical inquiry into the divine nature, Sridhar Swami here addresses the question of how an unchanging God can engage in activities resolving this paradox by attributing unlimited potency, Ananta Shaktaya, to Krishna. So this concept of unlimited potency suggests that Krishna's power is not limited by any factor, allowing the divine to participate in the world and interacting with devotees without compromising in his essential nature. Only Krishna can go out of his way and reciprocate to his devotees, and in a manner that that is the best for his devotee. So he can go to any length. So Lord reciprocates. Lord's ways are unlimited, and that's why he can cater to and attend to each and every entity. And what to say of devotees? He is a Bhakta Vatsala. For his devotees, he can do anything. And the importance of devotee blessing. So Nrika's desire to see Krishna stems from a blessing of a great devotee, showing that the association of a pure devotee in attaining divine encounters. So this enforces the idea that spiritual progress is often facilitated through grace and encouragement of those who have deeper connection with God. So sadhu sangha is important over here. So unless and until we are blessed by a devotee, we will not come in connection with the Supreme Lord. And then recognition of sin and path of redemption. Nriga's acknowledgement of his sin regarding the cow signifies the importance of self-awareness and repentance in the path of devotion. So he accepted his sin, even though it happened without his knowledge. He accepted it and he was ready to repent for it. So when asked by the Yamraj, he said, no, I want to suffer the results of my impious activities. So it shows that he was willing to repent for it. And his decision to first face the consequences before experiencing the fruits of charity reflects his profound understanding that he was a just and a moral king. So in conclusion, we see that this particular episode, we see divine, genuine devotion, a relationship between humility and the pursuit of divine grace, that wherever there is humility, divine grace will come in. Philosophical understanding of God's nature. It reflects like through the commentaries of the acharyas. These commentaries emphasize on the importance of intention in spiritual practices. The intention behind the karma is more important, and it encourages readers to reflect on on deepening their knowledge on their spiritual journey. So here again, the important takeaways from this particular pastime is what specific action and qualities would constitute pure devotion beyond mere charitable acts. So Nriga's past misdeeds primarily involved an unintentional offense of taking away a cow of a Brahmana while attempting to give a gift, so which resulted in the transformation of a lizard because of that sin. So although he had committed it unintentionally, but he still tried to cover it up by giving 1 lakh cows in exchange of it. So that made him turn into a lizard in the next life. And then how can one cultivate humility in spiritual practices to become more receptive of divine grace? So crucial elements to become more receptive to divine grace is one of the very important aspect of spiritual journey, and to cultivate pure devotion that goes beyond mixed devotion means only a hetuki bhakti. One should focus on seva, selfless service, sincerity of the worship. So constant introspection is required, developing personal relationship with Krishna that is free from all the other desires, that is ahetuki bhakti, and free from any material gains and recognition. This recognition, material gain also comes when you're doing good activities, but recognition is what most of the human beings crave for, that they should be recognized for his good acts. So this is a very powerful reason of downfall, but which one should always guard. Ahankar also grows with that. So the more popular you are, the more ahankari you will become. So one should specifically guard on this particular point, that am I craving for recognition? So one should keep asking oneself. And what are the implications of Nriga's realization for contemporary understanding of justice and morality in spiritual context? This leads to, like, the transformative power of devotion leads to a profound sense of deeper sense of peace, connection, and purpose. So devotion has to be practiced. Services like prayers and community service and these service rituals, sadhu sangha, all these promote personal growth and reinforce faith in a person. And that's how it allows us to go beyond, go ahead in our spiritual journey. So very important lesson to be learned, that Brahmana's properties should be not not in any way, it should not be taken in any way. Now, very important instruction that Lord Krishna will now give to his relatives, especially these young boys. Lord Krishna, who was then present, like after the demigod left, all the members of his families were over there. So to teach them this and to teach them this lesson through this, through the exemplary character of this Maharaj Mriga, he said that even though a Kshatriya king may be extremely powerful, and it is not possible for him to just take a very small property of a brahmana and utilize it for his own purposes. If this is so, how can ordinary kings who falsely think themselves to be powerful beings within the material world, they can snatch away or take away a brahmana's property? So in case of Nriga, it happened, he was extremely powerful and his fault was almost negligible. He wasn't even aware of it. He didn't do it intentionally, but still he had to face the consequences. So given his power, given his past records, uh, still he had to face the consequences. So what to think of those kings who are not so ritualistic, so principle based, so just as this Nrika, yet they just pose themselves as powerful kings. And how can these kings, they can just get away if they actually take away a brahmana's property? Is it possible? So Lord Krishna is saying that I do not think that taking poison is as dangerous as taking a property of a brahmana. So, एक ब्राह्मण का प्रॉपर्टी को हड़प करना is worst. It is worse than consuming poison also. It is so dangerous. So for ordinary poison, there is a treatment and one can be relieved from its effects. But if one drinks the poison of taking a brahmana's property, there is no remedy for that mistake or for that particular sin. And King Maharaj Nriga's example is the perfect example for that. So Krishna is saying to his people that he was a very powerful and a very pious king, but due to a small mistake of unknowingly taking away the property, that is unknowingly taking the cow of a brahmana, he was condemned to such a abominable life of a result. And ordinary poison affects only those who drink it, and ordinary fire can be extinguished only by pouring water. But an Arani fire ignited by the spiritual potency of a brahmana who is dissatisfied can burn into ashes the whole family, the whole royal family, all the persons. So such a should such a dissatisfaction, or one should not upset a brahmana like this. So talking of the Arani fire, earlier the brahmanas used to ignite the fire of sacrifices not by lighting not through like generating fire through stones or anything, but they used to ignite the fire by powerful mantras. These mantras are called Arani mantras. So that's why this fire is supposed to be very, very powerful. This is not ordinary fire. So if someone just, Lord Krishna is saying, even mere touch on the Brahmana's property, if someone just touches the Brahmana's property, his whole family will be ruined for 3 generations just by touching the property. And if a Brahmana's property is forcefully taken away, the person who is taking away the Brahmana's property, his whole family for 10 generations before him and 10 generations after him will suffer the ruin. And on the other hand, if someone becomes a pure Vaishnava or a pure devotee of Lord, 10 generation of his family and 10 generation before and after, those generations are liberated. So just see the contradiction. So what is important? Being a devotee of the Lord, obviously. So Krishna says that if some foolish king who is just very proud of his wealth and prestige, and he wants to take away a Brahmana's property, he should understand that he is making his way towards hell. And he does not know how much he is going to suffer for this particular act. So if someone takes away the property of a very liberal Brahmana who is like uh, who is who has a dependent family, large dependent family on him, then such a person is put to hell, and the name of that hell is Kumbhipaka. So because the Brahmana is has dependents, has a family who is dependent on him, a large family, if that property is taken away, the person who is taking away that property will be thrown into this hell called Kumbhipaka. Not only he is put into this hell, but his family members also have to accept a very miserable condition of life. And a person who takes away a Brahmana's property, whether it was originally given by him or by someone else, is condemned to live at least 60,000 years as a miserable insect in stool. So even if you yourself have given that property and you only then take it, still you will suffer. How much? At least 60,000 years as a miserable insect in stool. So therefore, Krishna says, I instruct you all, who all, like all of you who are present here, do not even by mistake take the possession of a Brahmana and thereby pollute your whole family. So if someone even wishes to possess such a property, let alone attempts to take it away by force, the duration of his life will be reduced. Just the wish of it. He has not taken it away, just by wishing. So the duration of life will be reduced. He will be defeated by his enemies, and after being, uh, you know, bereft of his royal position, when he gives up his body, he will become a serpent, giving trouble to other living entities. So therefore, my dear boys, I therefore advise you that even if a Brahmana becomes angry with you and he is insulting you, he is cursing you, do not retaliate. On the contrary, smile at him, tolerate his insults, and still offer respects to him. So now you know that, like even I, like he, Krishna is the supreme and he is the head of his family. So he's telling that, see, I am also offering obeisances to Brahmanas. I also pay great respects to Brahmanas. I do it 3 times daily. So you should therefore follow my instruction. You should therefore follow my example. And I shall not forgive anyone who does not follow. And I shall punish that person who does not follow this instruction. So you should learn from the example of King Nriga that even if something happens unknowingly, even if you take away a property of a Brahmana unknowingly, you are put to a very miserable condition of life. So like this, Krishna, he, gives this very important instruction to the members of his family, and through them he is giving this important instruction to us who are the readers of this particular pastime, and then he just returns back to his palace. So here we see the key themes of this particular pastime. According here, the first important point that we have to keep in mind is a Brahmana's property cannot be digested. It is a person who just thinks that he will take away a Brahmana's property and enjoy it. That is not possible. So Krishna asserts that a Brahmana's property, once taken through theft or some other means, it is indigestible. It will not bring you peace. It will only make you suffer. So this implies that it brings severe consequences that cannot be easily dealt with, even for the most powerful individuals. So how powerful was Maharaj Nega? Extremely powerful. But he had to, face the consequences of an act that he didn't even do intentionally. So that is the power of taking away the dire consequence of taking away a Brahmana's property. Then comparison to poison, like such an act, even consuming poison is nothing, but taking away, doing this particular act is more devastating to an individual. And while poison just destroys the individual, stealing leads to a far-reaching downfall, affecting not just the thief, but his entire family and the future generation. So not just you will suffer, but your ancestors will suffer and your future generations are going to suffer. So this is such a poison. Even poison is better than that. Then extinguishable fire, the another metaphor that Lord is giving, that analogy of fire is shown here, the destructive nature of stealing the Brahmana's property, how fire can just destroy everything without even it it will just destroy the whole tree from till the root. It just burns completely. So that is the consequences of this particular theft, especially theft of taking away something from the Brahmana, his property. And then generational impact. It will go on for to your descendants, like not just you, but your whole family, previous and the future, is going to suffer. And it will lead to lack of dharma, lack of uh, so if you are not, like if your generations are not practicing righteousness, obviously you will only suffer in the hell. And the whole, like the repercussions go to the whole of the clan, the whole of the dynasty. And then respect and devotion. Krishna is emphasizing the need to that there is a very it's at most important to respect Brahmanas, highlighting that true followers must honor them. This is Krishna's order, that Brahmanas should be respected and they should be honored in the society. The act of respecting a Brahmana is crucial to maintain one's spiritual integrity, because Brahmanas, they follow the Vedic principles, so hence they should be honored to maintain one's own spiritual integrity. Consequences of ignorance we saw. Even unintentional theft leads to downfall, we saw. And Krishna stresses that ignorance of the consequences does not solve the problem. Like even if you're ignorantly you do it, still you have to face the implications. And foolishness of desire. So the desire to take a Brahmana's property is pure foolishness. It will only lead you away from the spiritual life and put you into the depth of suffering. So here the importance of self-awareness and the recognition of one's action. So one has to be extremely careful. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur here conveys a strong message about the sanctity of a Brahmana's property. Rather, his property should be protected, not taken away. It should be protected. And the ethical responsibilities of individuals, particularly in relation to spiritual growth and societal harmony. So if we want to maintain spiritual growth and societal harmony, we should rather protect a Brahmana's property, never ever even wish or think or touch his property. Even though you yourself have given him that thing, still it becomes his property. So important takeaways: what specific consequences that Mriga face for this unintentional theft? So so we can see that he faced severe consequences for unintentional theft. He got transformed into a lizard as a punishment, and is a powerful reminder for the transformative power of awareness and respect for others' property. It is a cautionary tale that even unintentional mistake can have profound consequences, but it also inspires us to be mindful of our actions and to understand the potential for personal growth in every situation. So actually here the emphasis is more on the Brahmana's property, but actually one should not have an eye on anyone else's property, be it a Brahmana or be it a other person. One should not have an eye on that. If you are spiritually inclined, one should avoid that. So how can individuals cultivate respect for Brahmanas in modern age? by cultivating humility, uh, uh, combined with educational initiatives that promote values and teachings upheld by Brahmana community, that can lead to a deeper understanding and respect for their contributions in the society. So their contributions should be promoted. That is how we can, cultivate respect for them in the modern society. And supporting cultural events, Brahmana-led programs and organizations, and encouraging dialogue. So these are some of the ways we can honor their role and enhance our own spiritual life. What are some practical steps that one can take to avoid the pitfalls to desire Brahmana's property? So by practicing contentment and gratitude, one should never actually desire for anyone's property. So that is possible if you are content in your own life, you are grateful for whatever you have, engaging in self reflection, understanding our goals and our motives in life, actively following spiritual practices, and detachment. Detachment should be practiced from material possessions, and we can align very closely with our spiritual growth and societal harmony by doing all these things. So self-awareness, self-reflection, these are very powerful tools to enhance our spiritual journey. So here, very important lesson, very important teaching was instructed by Lord Krishna himself through this beautiful pastime. But Prabhuji, I have ended this lesson here. But my question is, while I was preparing for this particular lesson, they say that, in the end, we should be detached. You should not, although we should not be contemptuous of other people, of obtaining other person's things. But we live in a society wherein, you have to be practical sometimes. And we don't desire to take anyone's property. But this concept of detachment, completely being satisfied in our own self, completely being always in gratitude is all correct. But this completely being satisfied in ourself, then how will we grow? Because even in practical life, we need help. We need some influence to, solve our ways. So complete detachment for us also is not possible. So how do we, actually use it in our practical life? That I want to know. If you can guide me, Charu Prabhuji, Sharad Prabhuji.
Like you were saying, detachment. We also spoke about detachment. What is actually called detachment? Detachment is not unsensitiveness. Detachment does not mean I am fully satisfied in myself. I don't have to work. We have to do our duty. Detachment means we should not have any, we should not think that somebody else's property is ours. And the things should not, like something has happened, it should not touch the heart like that. That means it should not affect us. That is what is meant by detachment. It does not mean somebody is doing some service, but feels totally satisfied. He doesn't do anything more than the minimum thing. Then he will not prosper. He should do his duty. Duty comes first. Then this detachment meaning one should not get too much attached to all the things which are worldly. That is what is meant. That is my understanding.
Yes, Prabhuji, because like I also notice sometimes even in spiritual life, we are trying to increase our influence. We are trying to reach as many people as possible. But in the bargain, we kind of compromise on the time we are spending in our own meditation, our own chanting. So how to, make how to set that thin line, how to not cross that line and still be still focusing on our spiritual practices, that is of utmost importance. At the same time, service, because if I'm working, if I'm also involved in serving the spiritual organization, and if I also want to take care of my family, and if I also want to do my own spiritual practices, there is a very thin line that so how to check that priority, how to not get influenced, because you ultimately get influenced when you come in touch with people, society. How to do that, because I have failed in that. Yes, Charlie.
You're absolutely right. By our own efforts, it's practically impossible in today's competitive world. So whatever Acharya says and what we've been learning from Bhagavatam, this detachment is not within our power. The best way to do is attach to Krishna conscious activities. Let Krishna take complete control of our senses. He is Rishikesha. So I always pray to the Lord that I'm incapable of controlling myself, my desires and everything. You take control of my senses. My job is to serve you, and then Krishna will take care of your job, yours. So it's like one hand you give, another hand you take. So you give your services, and automatically the other things are going to be taken care by the Lord. Look at my life. Practically, my time is entirely spent is being serving the Lord and all of you, his devotees. My personal life is already being taken care of, and I am the living proof. All my life, that's what's happening. How my children came up, studied, how my job, all these things, one by one, it is taken care of. I can tell you from my own life, from my own experience, as honestly as possible, I did not have to struggle myself. Even now, things are happening, difficulties we do face, but do your part in serving the Lord and serving the people, devotees. Then detachment will come through that avenue, that path. Our own efforts is not going to be likely to be successful, because we are conditioned by the modes. The modes of the lower modes, Rajoguna and Tamoguna, they control our lives. Everything that we do is being controlled. And what is the solution? Bhagavatam gives a very clear solution. Those 5 verses that should come by heart now by this time to all of you. Shrunatam Sakatha Krishna, Pune Shravana Kirtana, Nidyantasto Bhadrani, Suhrut Satam. So simply hearing about Krishna Katha, chanting his holy names, associating with the saintly people, that's where Krishna himself brings us to come to the mode of goodness. Tada rajastamo kama bhava chet eter annavidam sitam satya prasidati. The lower modes, whose outer manifestations, kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, matsara, all you've been telling me right now is because of those lower modes, And when the lower modes are being taken care by none other than Krishna himself, just because we let him do it, by chanting the holy name, always hearing Krishna Katha, Bhagavatam. So many, I've been sending you some PowerPoint slides that I'm working latest on this lesson 137, all these things, which is way, way ahead. It's 6 months down the line. I've completed all these things by working in breakneck speed, 16, 18 hours a day, where I have time to develop attachment. I don't have time to think all these things. This is the practical way to lead yourself. Then Krishna takes care of your whatever you need, whatever has to come by whatever our written in our stars, that will come automatically. No one gets before time what he deserves. So detachment, you expect to do it by yourself, it's practically virtually impossible. Haribol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. That was the right answer. Yeah, we don't have to practice. We have to do our duty. He gives us detachment. So
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
We develop attachment for him.
Prabhuji, you wanted to say something?
Yes, Prabhu. I'm just echoing Charu Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, we are not suffering because of our attachment. Acharya do say that one. We are suffering because of detachment from a Krishna. So that's what just I thought to put this one. Acharya Prabhu said. That's what I thought to. We are definitely not suffering because of attachment, because we are not attached, we are detached from the Krishna. So that is where our problem comes. That's what I have.
Exactly, Rajiv Prabhu. Why are we here in the first place?
Yes.
Because we turn our face away from him.
Yes.
That's why we are being placed in this training school.
Yes.
And this school is designed to give you difficulties. Material world is designed to train us to become super saturated with this, and we should go back where we belong.
Yes, bro.
And by our own efforts, we cannot do that.
Yes. And another point I was. Sorry, bro. Go ahead.
No. Samata Mataji, did I answer your question?
Yes, very well, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Rajiv Prabhu also contributed that.
Yes.
What he said is because we are suffering not because of that failure to detach, but failure to attach ourselves with Krishna.
To Krishna, correct.
Because as we turn away from him, then Maya takes complete control of ourselves. Maya will create situations that we are forcefully going to be carried away from Krishna. That is Maya's thankless job. Maya is a devotee of the Lord, but she is given that kind of job, because we have strong desires to enjoy ourselves.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So when you look at in doing my PowerPoints, preparing for these lessons, I have so much attachment with that. I forget everything. My wife is calling me so many times. Come on, it's lunchtime, dinner time. She warms the food several times and puts it back. I cannot even remember eating my food. I forget taking my medicines. All the time these PowerPoints are preparing, reading lots of material. I need to read all the time. I don't have time, anything else.
Yes, Prabhuji, yours is a complete absorption.
And I was a scientist, which was a very demanding career. Even during I was working in my lab, I had to read a lot of scientific journals, write grant applications to support my research, promotions, yearly exams. Everything was being taken care of automatically all these years. I've been doing this thing for the last 35 years. First 10 years I spent to train myself. Then last 25 years to teach all of you. And by teaching you, I'm learning myself. Then why, if you were not there, I would not have done all this thing for myself. So you are the incentive, my incentive. And look how much it has benefited personally my life. Tremendously, more than you can imagine. And I'm at the tail end of my life now. I'm not trying to break myself. It's not easy. It is easier said than done. But more you work for Krishna, more you are going to be attached for him. You need to work for him and his devotees. You work for his devotees, through them you get to work for Krishna.
Indeed. Thank you.
Haribol Prabhu, wonderful. Thank you, Mataji. Very wonderful class. A lot of instructions and takeaway. And your question is so apt. I also feel the same. But also, just to add, I think I also heard when there is too many things, it is also important that we balance and prioritize. Like if we ourselves don't get the sufficient spiritual nourishment, then how can we give others, right? So I think that is important. That is the priority. Like many class, the Prabhujis or the devotees, they give example like in the flight they say that if the oxygen mask come down, first put on you, then on the children or nearby. So first we have to fix ourselves. I don't see anything wrong in that. And then whatever extra we have, then we can effort. That was just one humble thought. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Rakshaben, Rakshamataji, you remember
Yes,
Darsi
Prabhuji.
Mehta? Darsi Mehta?
Ah, yes, Prabhuji.
બધું ભગવાન પર મૂકી દીધું મામેનું છોકરીનું બધું એ ભગવાને પૂરું પાડ્યું.
Yes, Prabhuji. Very true. એ ખાલી ભગવાનનું નામ જ લેતા હતા બસ, બીજું કાંઈ જ એને વાઇફ ઓફ થઈ ગઈ તો શું કે છે પ્રભુજી? ભલું થયું ભાંગી જંજાળ,
એને કહેતા હતા ભલું થયું ભાંગી જંજાળ,
સુખેથી ભજશું હરિનું નામ.
શ્રી ગોપાળ.
હા, યસ. એ તો અદ્ભુત હતા, અદ્ભુત અદ્ભુત.
આપણે તો એમાંથી શીખવાની જરૂર છે ને.
યસ પ્રભુજી, મારા સૌથી ફેવરિટ છે નરસિંહ મહેતા. અદ્ભુત છે, હું હંમેશા યાદ કરું.
કેટલા બ્યુટીફુલ ભજનો લખેલા છે એને.
Any other question or comments?
Probably one class should be dedicated to Bhakta Charitra also. So it helps actually, like how you were just now talking to Raksha Mataji. So because we have the general idea about the story of him, but we don't know in detail. So that's why,
Okay, I'll tell you stories today. We have got a lot of time, but before that, any questions or comments? If there are none, then I'll tell you something.
Go ahead, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
So wonderful class, Mataji. We would love to hear you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Firstly, some points regarding this class, like in slide number 2, we came to know about charity. But please remember that suppose we are giving anything in charity to some person or to the temple or to a brahmachari, a sannyasi or like this, if we think we are doing and we take the credit for that and we advertise that thing with others, then it loses its importance. This should be kept in mind. Then the second thing in the slide number 4, we spoke about the philosophical inquiry into the divine nature. Krishna's power is not limited under any circumstances. He has got all the powers, so are his expansions. We should not think that his expansions have less power than him. They have got equal powers. But what they do, they fulfill the requirement for why they had come there. That's why we do not see the other things. Then the next thing we saw, the general impact. In that passage we saw the long-lasting effects of theft, suggesting that not only a thief but all his ancestors and descendants, they suffered the repercussions. This should be advertised in the society. People should know that if they take something from anybody, then not only themselves but his his all ancestors and descendants, that is, who are to come in times to come, they all suffer. There is a story in Ramayana also, something like this, like stealing something or taking somebody's things. But here in this connection, we should remember that here we came to know about the story how if somebody steals something of a Brahmana, he suffers. Now, please remember that not only Brahmana, but if somebody has given something to the Lord, if that is stolen, what happens? If something has given to a sadhu, if that thing happens, then what happens? Like suppose in a temple, when you want to give something in charity, they ask for which purpose it is given. Suppose you say, I am giving it for the cows, or you say, I am giving it for sadhu seva. It is their responsibility to use them in that way. Like there is a very great principle that whatever is given for the cows, they cannot be used for any other purpose, even for the Lord. And if somebody does this, then he has to suffer. What story we have heard today? I'll tell you a similar story which is given in Ramayana. Now, you know, Lord Rama, he ruled for 11,000 years. And he, with his royal council of sages and ministers, they used to listen to the people who came to them every day. What happened one day, a dog came there to complain about something. And the dog was barking persistently on the gate only. And that's why Lord Rama sent Lakshmana, please find out what is the problem with the dog. Now he went there, asked the dog to come in. The dog said that, no, I am a dog, I cannot enter the assembly. That's why I am here. Then the dog said that I have got full trust on Lord Rama, and I have got a very urgent grievance. Please call him here. Now then Lord Rama, he came there to the gate only, not in his assembly, outside the assembly to the gate. And the dog told Rama that while gods like Indra, Surya, Vayu, they are all honored in the temples, but lowly persons like me can have no place. Then the dog, he praised Lord Rama's virtues, his commitment to dharma, justice and everything. Then the dog requested Rama protection and justice for an offense committed against him. What happened? A dog revealed that a Brahmana had struck him on his head, and he is bleeding and he is suffering for that. And the Brahmana was called there, and the Brahmana admitted his fault before Lord Rama and begged for punishment and forgiveness. Now, hearing all this, Lord Rama was to pronounce his judgment, but the dog again said, please give the punishment I am saying. Don't, I want that whatever I want, that punishment should be given to this Brahmana. Now, then Lord Rama asked him, what punishment do you want the Brahmana to get? Then the dog said, this Brahmana should become a Mahant, that is the head of the Kalanjar Matha, that is a Math, he should be head of that. Ram said, okay, he will become the Mahant of that Math. But please tell me, you are punishing him or you are rewarding him or punishing him? He said, I am punishing him. And then Lord Rama asked, how? He said that in my previous birth, I was the Mahant of the same place, that is the Kalanjar Matha. But what happened, I was doing yajna, that is sacrifice for the Supreme Lord, and my hand was filled with ghee. When I was offering, some ghee was there on my hand. And what I did, I went and had my food, and in that food, that ghee, that clarified butter mixed, and I ate it and liked it. And because this was meant for the Supreme Lord, and I partook it so without any process, then I have become a dog and led this Brahmana. He become the Mahant of this mutt, and thereafter in his next life he will also become a dog. That's why he is going to suffer. That means all these offenses, please remember, they are very subtle also. Not that they will be gross all the time. Like here, we heard the story. Though the king did not come to know, but it was already given that cow was already given, and then it was given to somebody else. And regarding the gift of the cows, there is a injunction in the Shastra. It says that you can give only 10% of what you have. Suppose you have got 100 cows, then you can give in charity 10 cows only. That means you think King Nruga must have had how many cows? Okay, this is about this. Then earlier I had said I'll tell you the story of Sakshi Gopal. I'll tell you in the full story. What happened. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his party, in which Nityananda Prabhu was there. They came from Bengal and they entered Odisha. And there is a place known as Jajpur, which is about 100 kilometers from Bhubaneswar toward Calcutta. And there is a river Baitarani flowing there. He came, he prayed to Lord Varaha there. There is a very, very old temple of Lord Varaha there. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years back, the temple was there even at that time. Then there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was engaged in chanting and dancing and offering prayers. Then later on, afterwards, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to where this town of Sakshi is there. Then he saw the deity of Gopala, and he was very much pleased there. And while he was there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started chanting and dancing there also. And at night, Nityananda Prabhu, who had toured all over India, had seen different places. He also had come to see here Sakshi Gopala, and he knew about the story. Then he told the story of Sakshi Gopal. This is the actual story. Now what happened? There is a town in the southern India known as Vidyanagara, and there two Brahmins they were there, and these two Brahmins they made a long tour to see different places of pilgrimage. They went to Gaya, then Kashi, then Prayag, and finally came to Mathura and Vrindavan. And after reaching Mathura, they started visiting different places in Vrindavana, came to the Govardhana hill, the 12 forests there, and then they did the Panchakoshi Parikrama at the site of Govinda Dev temple. And after taking baths in different bathing places like Yamuna, Keshi Ghat, Kalia Ghat, etc., they visited the temple of Gopala. And afterward, they took rest in the temple. Now, the beauty of Gopal deity, it stole the minds of the two, that is the two Brahmanas. Then one of the two Brahmanas was the old man and the other one young. And the young man was assisting the old one. They were from the same village. And the Brahmana, the young Brahmana always rendered service to the elder Brahmana, and the elder Brahmana was totally satisfied with the service and he was pleased with him. Then the older Brahmana told one day to the younger Brahmana that you have rendered various types of service to me, You have assisted me in traveling in all these places. Even my son does not render such service. And by your mercy, I did not become fatigued while on this tour. And if I did not show you any respect, I would be ungrateful. Therefore, I promise to give you my daughter in charity. Now, please listen to the conversation after this sentence. The younger Brahmana, he said, please hear me. You are saying something very, very unusual, and such a thing never happens in this society. You are from a aristocratic family, you are well educated, you are very rich, but I am a poor Brahmana, I am not aristocratic, I am without a decent education and have no wealth at all, and I am not a suitable bridegroom for your daughter. I render service to you only for the satisfaction of Krishna. Now, he says Lord Krishna is very much pleased by the service rendered to Brahmanas, and when the Lord is pleased, the opulence of one's devotional service increases. Now, the elder Brahmana, he said, do not doubt me. I will give you my daughter in charity. I have already decided this. Then the young Brahmana said, you have a wife and sons, and you have a large circle of relatives and friends, and without their consent, how can you give your daughter in charity to me? Just consider the story of King Rukmini and his father Bhismaka. Bhismaka wanted to give his daughter Rukmini in charity to Krishna, but Rukmi, his eldest son, objected, therefore he could not carry out his decision. Now the older Brahmana said that my daughter is my own property. If I choose to give my property to someone, who has the power to stop me? Now, he also said that I will give my daughter to you in charity and I will neglect the position of others. Don't doubt about this. Now, then the younger Brahmana said, if you have decided to give your daughter to me, then say so before the Gopal deity. And both of them came before the Gopal deity, and the elder Brahmana said that please be a witness to what we are going to do. The elder Brahmana has promised to give his daughter to me. Then the younger Brahmana addressed the deity and said that, my dear Lord, you are my witness. I shall call you for to testify if there is a necessity later on. And after the talks between the two Brahmanas, they started for home. And as usual, the young Brahmana accompanied the elderly Brahmana and he helped him as his guru. And after returning to Vidyanagara, each Brahmana went to their respective houses. Then the elderly Brahmana, he started to think, I have given my word to a Brahmana in a holy place, and that I promised will certainly come to pass. I must now disclose this to my family members. Then he called for a meeting of his relatives and friends. Then he told everything what had happened there. Now, then what happened? They said, his son said that when you belong to the family circle and how you have taken this decision without us. Now the elderly Brahmana said, how can I undo the promise I have already made in a holy place of pilgrimage, that too in front of the deity? Now the relatives unanimously they said that if you give your daughter to that boy, we shall give up all connection with you. And his wife also declared that if such a thing happens, we shall take poison and die. Now the elderly Brahmana said, if I do not give my daughter to the young Brahmana, he will call Gopal as a witness. Thus he will take my daughter by force. That will not be good for me. Now then his son said that the deity may be a witness, but he is in a distant country. He cannot come here to be a witness against you. Then let us agree to this proposal and you just say that I do not remember. I shall take care of the rest of the things. Then, when the elderly Brahmana heard this, his mind became very much agitated and he was feeling helpless. But the elderly Brahmana, he prayed to the Lord that, my dear Gopala, I have taken shelter of your lotus feet, and therefore I request you to please protect my religious principles. And next day the elderly Brahmana was thinking deeply about this matter when the young Brahmana he came. Now the young Brahmana he offered his obeisances to him, and he said that you have promised to give your daughter in charity to me. Now you are not saying anything. What is the conclusion? And then he said that I do not remember having said anything like that. And then his son also came out. He said, you are the most degraded person in this world. You want to marry my sister, but you are not eligible for that. And seeing a stick in the hand of the son, the younger Brahmana fled the scene. Then all the people in the village then called for the elderly Brahmana in a meeting, brought him to the meeting place, and the young Brahmana then began to speak before them, and he told them the complete story, and he told that, my dear friends, please hear that what I have to submit. I do not exactly remember. Then to hearing this, the elderly Brahmana said that I do not exactly remember making a promise like that. Then when the elderly Brahmana's son heard this, he took the opportunity to juggle some words. Becoming very imprudent, he stood before the assembly and said that while touring various holy places, my father carried much money, but seeing the money, this rogue decided to take it away. There is no one besides this man with my, there was no one besides my father. He gave him an intoxicant and has stolen all the money. And all of you assembled people, you are gentlemen, please judge whether it is befitting to offer this poor Brahmana, my father's daughter. Then hearing this argument, so all the people, they became little doubtful. Then at that time, the young Brahmana said that, my dear gentlemen, please hear, just to gain a victory in an argument, this man is lying. And being very satisfied with my service, this Brahmana had said to me that I promised to hand over my daughter to you. And at that time, I forbade him to do this, telling that I am not a fit husband for your daughter. But still, this Brahmana insisted again and again and asked me to accept the proposal, saying that I have given you my daughter, please accept her. I then said that you are a learned Brahmana, your wife, friends, and relatives will not agree to this proposal. And he said that I'll take care of that. Then at that time, the young Brahmana says that I concentrated on my mind and requested the Brahmana to make a promise before the Gopal deity. And this was done in front of the Lord Gopala. And I said that if this Brahmana later hesitates to give me his daughter, then you shall become a witness. Please note this with great care and attention. He is telling what he told Gopala. Then he said, therefore I have called all the great people of the village here. You please decide what is to be done. Now, hearing this, the elderly Brahmana immediately confirmed this was really true. If Gopala personally comes here to serve as a witness, I shall surely give my daughter to this young Brahmana. Then the elderly Brahmana thought, since Lord Krishna is very merciful, he will certainly come to prove my statement. The elderly Brahmana he wanted, but his relatives they were not agreeing. And then the young Brahmana he went back to Vrindavana and he said to the Lord that we had already come here earlier, and the elderly Brahmana had made a promise, and you are a witness. Please come with me. But the Lord said that he also said that you are the protector of the Brahminical culture, and you are very, very merciful. Therefore, kindly show your great mercy by protecting the religious principles of the two Brahmanas, because he also knew that the elderly Brahmana was being pressurized by his relations. And then also he said that I am not thinking to become happy by getting the daughter as a bride. I am simply thinking that the Brahmana has broken his promise and this is giving me great pain. Then the young Brahmana said that you are very merciful, therefore please kindly be a witness. Then Gopal said, my dear Brahmana, go back to your home, call for a meeting of all the men, and in that meeting, I'll appear and you remember me, and I will appear there and I will tell what had transpired between you and the other Brahmana. I'll certainly appear there. But the young Brahmana said that even if you appear there as a 400 Vishnu deity, still none of these people will believe your words. Only if you go there in this form as Gopala and speak the words from your beautiful face, then and give your testimony, this will be heard by the people and they will believe this. I have, but the Lord said that I have never heard a deity walking from one place to another. But the young Brahmana, he said that you are not a statue. You are directly the son of Maharaj Danda. And now for the sake of the old Brahmana, you can do something you have never done before. Now then the Lord smiled. He was totally speechless. He could not say. Then he said, just listen to me. I shall walk behind you, and in this way I shall go with you. Then he also said that do not try to see me by turning around. As soon as you see me, I shall remain stationary in that place, and you will know that I am walking behind you by the sounds of my ankle bells. And then he also told me, I told him that to cook 1 kilo of rice every day, and I shall eat that rice and follow you behind. And next day, the Brahmana begged permission from Gopala and started for his journey. Then, while Gopala was following the Brahmana, the tinkling sound of his ankle bells could be heard, and the Brahmana became very much pleased. And they walked, and this way, eventually they arrived at that town, that is Vidyanagar. When they were near the village, the young Brahmana, he started thinking, now I have come to my village and I shall go to my home and tell the people that the witness has arrived. Now the Brahmana began to think that if the people don't see the Gopala deity, they would not believe that he has arrived. But even if Gopala stays here, he thought there is still nothing to fear. And thinking this, the Brahmana turned to look back and he saw that Gopala was standing there smiling. He refused to move thereafter because that was the promise. He said that now you can go home. I shall stay here and shall not leave. Then the young man then went to the town and informed all the people about Gopala's arrival. And everybody gathered there. And when the people arrived there, they were very much pleased to see Gopala. And then the elderly Brahmana was very much pleased. He came forward and offered his obeisances to the Lord. And thus, in the presence of all the town people, Lord Gopala bore witness to that elderly Brahmana and said that he had indeed offered his daughter in charity to the young Brahmana. And thereafter, and after the marriage ceremony was performed, the Lord informed both Brahmanas that you two Brahmanas are my eternal servants, birth after birth. And he said that I have become very much pleased by the truthfulness of you both. Now you can ask for a benediction. Now the Brahmana said that please remain here so that people all over the world will know how merciful you are to your servants. Then the Gopala, he stayed there and the two Brahmanas engaged in his service. And after hearing the incident, many people from different countries, they began to visit there. Now you will be asking how he reached Sakshi Gopal in Odisha. Now, when Lord Purushottama Dev, when he was the king of Odisha, he conquered the South India. He had won that country, and he had brought the Gopal deity, who is now installed in the place which is known as Sakshi Gopal. Sakshi means witness. Witness Gopal, the name of the place is this in English translation. This is in very brief the story of Sakshi Gopal. Thank you, Prabhuji. I have finished.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. That was very interesting.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So nice
So
story.
that deity actually walked behind, right?
Yes.
And he was told not to look back, right?
This story is given in the Madhya Leela Chaitanya Charitamrita.
This one I kind of remember that. Thank you very much.
प्रभु जी हम जगन्नाथपुरी गए थे तो एक पंडा ने ऐसा बताया था कि ये डीटी को थोड़े टाइम जगन्नाथपुरी भी लाए थे, फिर जगन्नाथ जी के सारे लड्डू वो खा जाते थे, गोपाल जी। तो जगन्नाथ जी ने बोला कि ये इनको यहाँ से हटाओ पहले, ये मेरे लड्डू खा जाते हैं। तो फिर वहां शिफ्ट किए वापस।
Yes,
अभी जो है
that story is also there. You are right.
That was so nice. सेम भगवान है मगर लड्डू खा गए तो बोलते कि इसको हटाओ यहाँ से। वो बहुत अच्छा लगा था।
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So Prabhuji, thank you so much. I think we should conclude the class now.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Samata Mataji, thank you so much for this wonderful class.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Rajkumari Mataji, would you like to do nursing prayers? Okay.
Thank you so much for your wonderful class.
Mataji, would you like to do nursing prayers?
Yes, I will do my
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mataji. Over to you.
I should say thank you to another. Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlad Hiranyakashipu Purvakshah Shilatanka Nakhalaye Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha Yato Yami Tato Narsimha Bahir Narsima Hridaye Narsima Narasim Adim Sarnam Prapade Tava Kar Kamalavare Nakam Adbhut Shrangam Dalita Hiranyakashap Tanubhrangam Keshavadhrita Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare तव कर कमलवरे नखम अद्भुत श्रृंगम दलिता वक्षपूतनुभृंगम केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमलवरे नखाम अद्भुत श्रृंगम दलिताय हिरण्यकशिपूतनुभृंगम केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिम्हादेव जय नरसिम्हादेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव। आप सबकी जय, सभी डिवोटी की।
बहुत अच्छा कहा।
वेरी गुड, वेरी नाइस माताजी,
Mataji.
हरि बोल।
Very
Very
nice.
good,
थैंक यू
Mataji.
माताजी।
थैंक यू माताजी, थैंक यू।
Thank you,
अब फर्स्ट
Mataji.
टाइम गाया मैंने।
बहुत अच्छा किया, बहुत अच्छा किया बहन जी।
थैंक यू भाई जी, थैंक यू सो मच।
भगवान की
हरि
सेवा
बोल।
के लिए गाना ही चाहिए
इट इज
माताजी।
ऑल योर मर्सी, इट इज ऑल योर मर्सी।
You
Next
amaze
time,
me all the time. You amaze me all the time.
It is all of you, mercy.
हरि
I
बोल।
am very thankful to you all.
Very
Thank you,
sweetly sung,
Mataji.
Rajkumari Mataji. First time, but very sweet. From the heart.
थैंक यू माता जी, थैंक यू माता। आई मुझे थोड़ा सा, मैं क्योंकि आफ्टर स्कूल लाइफ मैंने कभी कॉलेज में भी नहीं कुछ ऐसा किया। स्कूल में मैं बहुत अच्छा कर लेती थी पार्ट मैक्सिमम, बट 40 साल के बाद शायद आज मैंने फर्स्ट टाइम कुछ गाया है।
भगवान जी के
Thank
लिए
you.
गाया है,
Nice,
दिल
thank
से
you.
गाया है माता जी, बहुत अच्छा है।
Oh, very nice, Mataji. Very nice.
थैंक यू माता जी, थैंक यू, थैंक
Dandat
यू।
pranam.
Dandavat pranam, Mataji.
धन्यवाद,
Thank you
प्रणाम
so
टू ऑल
much.
ऑफ यू।
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna to all.
Thank you, Samta Mataji. Very nice class.
Thank you, Mataji.
थैंक यू समता
Thank
माता
you,
जी,
Mataji, Samta
वंडरफुल
Mataji.
क्लास।
Very nice class. Thank you so much. Sarat Prabhuji, Charu Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandat pranam.
Hare
हरे
Krishna to
कृष्णा,
all.
शरद प्रभु जी, दंडोत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्णा, चारुबाई जी, संजीव प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्णा टू ऑल माता जी।
Very nicely sung.